Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. So listen, happy Monday, day after Father's Day. Speaking of Father's Day, I started off yesterday's video saying happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I titled that video Happy Father's Day. Lowest views I got in a long, long time on a video. You all do not give the fathers the same energy as you do the mothers. And I get it. I get it. A lot of us, for one reason or another, do not have fathers. And a lot of us recognize, I think that's just the unconscious way that a lot of people recognize how much more work mothers tend to do than fathers do. But if you have a loving father who was there in your life, and you can tell the difference, y'all gonna get mad, but a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, you can tell the difference between people who were parented in a two-family home versus those who were not, in a loving two-parent home versus those that were not. But then a lot of the times, you can't miss what you've never experienced. A lot of us have never experienced loving fathers. And like that's the case with me. But I had friends who did, and I was always so jealous of that, but jealous in a good way, because don't get me wrong, I love that for them, growing up in a two-family environment that was healthy. I had a girlfriend. Her parents are still together to this day, as far as I know. She grew up in a two-parent home. And I always thought she had the greatest dad. I did, and I would go over there. Her mom was a bit of a bitch, just always so, for whatever reason, she just really didn't like me. And she was always so nasty to me. And then, we grew up all together. I met her in middle school. I remember when she had her baby at 18, and then I had my son 2 years later, and we went through a lot of ups and downs in our life together. And I remember, when I got hired in the plant and everything, and she got hired in the plant shortly after me. She has a license degree, though. I'm sorry, a license degree. A nursing degree, though. And then she didn't end up using that. She ended up going into the plant. And then after that, she ended up opening her own business. And her father did too. He worked in the plant too. And he ended up opening up a barber shop. And I would take my sons there to get their hair cut. And I remember the first time this man stepped to me, he hit on me. And because I wasn't naive, don't get me wrong, because I worked in an auto plant with a lot of scandalous men. I wasn't naive. I just didn't recognize it for what it was until afterwards. The encounter was so strange because he literally ran me down outside, after my sons got their haircuts. And I remember I was in a bit of a hurry, and I was like, Mr. I won't use his last name. I was like, just in case someone from the days are watching me, and I don't want to embarrass her like that. Speaking of embarrassing, that's why I never told her. To this day, I never told her that her dad hit on me. And he did it more than once. The first time was at his shop. And when I realized what it was, I never went back. I never took my sons back. And then another time, he caught me in a neighborhood grocery store. I was putting the groceries in the trunk of my car. And when I turned around, he was standing like this close to me. And I was like, oh, Mr. And then he's just smiling with this lecherous smile. And I realized that her daddy was just not a good guy at all. And then come to find out, he slept with another girlfriend of ours. And he was giving her money and everything. And she found out about it, and she was telling me about it and everything. And, my girlfriend. And I never, validated our other girlfriend by telling her, yeah, that's who your dad is, because, he tried to hit on me. And more than once. And that second time that he did, though, I knew what it was, obviously, because he was much more bold about it. And I was very firm in, don't you ever do this again. Ever. So, I don't know. I don't know, to this day, I don't know if that man ever told his daughter, because men like that, one of the things that they'll do when you deny them, they'll make up a lie and they'll say that it was you, and they'll, just in case, I decide to tell his daughter, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that ever went, but I never told her anyway. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I went all off on a tangent, giving you some of my life's gossip. But listen, they found that guy who targeted those lawmakers. They have him. He's arrested now. And what's his name? I wrote it down. Vance Bolter, 57 years old. I told you that he was not a Democrat. I told you he was not a Democrat. Just because you worked for Democrats and you worked in the political arena doesn't necessarily mean that you are a Democrat. Just means that's who hired you and got you your foot in the door. Doesn't mean that you subscribe to Democratic ideology. But yeah, he gunned down Melissa Horton, State Rep Melissa Horton, and her husband. And he attempted, although they are still in grave condition, to also assassinate John Hoffman and his wife. And he had a list and a manifesto. He was not right in his head. This is what America is doing to people. It's radicalizing so many people. Anyway, did you see that? Did you see those King's Holiday protests? I can tell you right here in Columbia, South Carolina, that went on Saturday, very, very few. You'd be hard pressed to see a black person in that crowd. There was a couple, because I was scanning the crowd hard. There were a couple, but you were hard pressed. Good job staying home, black people. Y'all did that all over the nation. You stayed home. You stayed home, because it will be us that will be targeted. It will be. It can be like another creator said, there could be 500,000 white folks out there and 5 black people, and they will target them 5 black people simply because we are black and we are the easiest ones to target and we are the most hated. Good job staying home and protecting your peace and your sanity and your safety and your body, your personage. Good job, black people. I also want to hit on a little bit about how our social safety nets are disappearing in all of this. Are you all paying attention to that? Because this is getting serious. I mean, there are no social safety nets for the homeless, for the hungry. My library pantry, it gets hit so hard lately. And it's all unhoused people looking for food. People who are living in their cars. The amount of people who are living in their cars in this nation, it is tragic. It's tragic. And not to mention they are going after Medicaid, SNAP benefits. What rent keeps increasing. A lot of us are looking away from that, but I'm trying to tell you, as a society, as a community, we can't afford to. We have to prepare for our people. We have to get back into learning how to supply one another with mutual aid. We do. They are crushing the middle class. It is quickly becoming rich and poor. Quickly. They are really crushing the middle class. And it's just trickling down and it's just getting worse. And I have these conversations and people tune them out and they don't want to listen because I get it. They're hard. They're scary. But what's scarier is, and what's harder is not having a plan in place. Plan carefully, my people. Look at what's really going around. Pay it attention. Start those victory gardens. Find other people that you can trade with. The only way through this is together, because they're not coming for us next. They've always been coming for us. And we as black people, we will definitely endure. But the only way to do that is together. I'm trying to tell you, the only way to do that is together. You know what is really concerning me lately is all the strange fruit. If you know, you know. Truckers, 16-year-old girls, people in the woods, people in the close to this latest one. It was close to proximity to a police station, and they're saying it was a suicide. They are hanging black people. They never stopped, but it is picking up, and it's not making the news. And the only way that we are going to be informed about it is if we talk about it. And I know it's hard subject matter. I know it's triggering. I know it's horrible. But we have to talk about all of these black people who are being found hung. This is getting so serious for us and so dangerous for us. And this is one of the reasons why we can't be worried about them folks over there. We got to be worried about over here. It's another reason why we have to be in community with one another, because when we are in community with one another, we talk to one another and we tell each other what's going on and what we need to keep our eyes peeled, open and peeled for, because this is what's happening to us. This latest case out of Albany, New York, and then this 16-year-old girl near the car wash. It's dangerous for us. Black people are experiencing our own genocide, and in more ways than one, which is why we cannot afford to be shields for other communities. We have to shield ourselves right now. Because it's always been dangerous for us, and it's becoming more dangerous for us. We need us right now. That is all that I have today for Morning Coffee Chat. If you would like to donate to the platform or to the library pantry, I would definitely appreciate it. I want you all to have a wonderful morning. Be someone's answer if you can. Stop judging other black people so harshly, because a lot of us are out here literally just trying to survive. And when you know better, you do better. I'll leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comments in the event that you like to support the platform. Y'all have a good Monday. Talk to you tomorrow.